Hello and welcome to another edition of Lightest and Best, where we look at the lightest and best offerings from a variety of knife manufacturers. Today we're going to be looking at the knife company Brian Tighe and Friends, and we're going to look specifically at their model, the TIE Fighter Small. Brian Tighe is a knife maker who has one of the coolest beards in knifedom, and I'm going to show a picture of him here. He says the key to growing a really cool beard is not to shave, so we have to take that for what it is. Anyway, his knife designs are award-winning. He won the Most Innovative Design Award at Blade Show both in the year 2010 and 2012. CRKT has a line of Tighe knives that use cheaper materials, HCR 13MOV and AUS-8 steels. Many of them have steel handles and they're made in China. Dave Reeser is a machinist who did a lot of machine work for Brian Tighe, and Dave talked with him sometime and pointed out once that, hey, you have your high-end knives, your custom knives, and you have a very low-end knife that's made in China and uses cheap steels and has steel handles. Wouldn't you like to have sort of a mid-tech that bridges the gap between those two extremes? And so what they did was they got the custom TIE Fighter and they shrunk it down to a 3-inch blade size, and that's how we get the TIE Fighter Small here. Let's talk about the specifications of the TIE Fighter Small. The blade length is 3 inches. The handle is 4.19 inches, giving a total length of the knife of 7.19 inches. The weight of the knife is very light at 2.5 ounces. We have some knives for comparison today, starting with the Benchmade Sequel, which is a little smaller than the TIE Fighter Small. We have the Ontario Carter Prime, which is a bit larger. We have the Spartan Blade Metis, which is a little smaller. We have the Ergonomics Wayfarer 24/7, which is a bit larger. We have the Zero Tolerance 0450, which is a little larger. And we have the Olson M9, which is approximately the same size. The blade is made of 154 cm steel. This is the steel that you will find in the Benchmade models like the Mini Griptilian. The method of deployment is twofold. It has a flipper. You can tell it has a button lock for return, and it has a thumb stud. It deploys very well through both manners. The handle is carbon fiber and it has wonderful milling and design. I'm going to show you this. Look at that great milling. The back spacer is aluminum that's anodized. And look at the handle, how the lanyard placement goes. I think this is a great design. It goes through the aluminum back spacer, but the handle is split to accommodate in its design the lanyard hole. The lock is by button lock. And this is just a barrel of monkeys to play with. I love button locks because they're really easy to play with. And I'm going to bring out another button lock I have from another Canadian knife person, Rod Olson. And I just love playing with the Rod Olson knife too. Love these button locks. They keep your hand out of the blade path. I did an interview with John Grimsmo and asked him what's the next knife he'd like to produce. And he brought up the knife he's had on the design table for 2 or 3 years. He has a small button lock integral knife that he would like to produce. And he's Canadian also. So I don't know what it is with the Canadian Consortium and button locks, but I sure like it. They can't make enough button lock knives to keep me happy. The pocket clip is very distinctive. It's in a Todd Beggs style, and I say Todd Beggs style because I'm going to put a picture of it here. As you can tell, Todd Beggs knives, we'll show the different ones that he have. They have a Y-shaped pocket clip too, based on a pillar construction. I want to bring up another knife maker that has a pillared construction pocket clip. This is the Ergonomics Wayfarer 24/7, and you see they both have little pillars that a pocket clip that's parallel to the knife body is placed at, and it has a ceramic ball much like that one also. I talked with Eugene at Olamic Knives and asked him about the Todd Beggs style clip, and they actually contacted Todd Beggs before they manufactured it because they didn't know if they would be infringing on any copyrights he had, and Todd told them no, he's not the first one that invented the pillar construction for pocket clips that had been done before him, but he just likes it and uses it a lot so they don't have to pay royalties to Todd Beggs for his clip design. The other people have used it before he did, and he doesn't have it copyrighted, but I just think it's a great, interesting design, this Y shape, and it's been done with other knife makers. It functions very nicely. The ergonomics on the knife, I'm going to have to give this a pour in the Tie Fighter Small. I have small hands, and whenever I use it in a traditional grip like this, it's fine. However, if I need to do anything, that's if it's on your forefingers. However, because of its sculpted shape, if I put it in any grip into the palm of my hand is small and it doesn't have enough room to meet it. It'll poke into me. So if you needed to do a reverse grip, or if you needed to do a draw cut like this, I'll show you what happens. The tip here, which is kind of pointy, will poke into your hand. So this is more a knife for conventional use. Don't worry though, if you're a person that has medium or large size hands, the Tie Fighter in the Brian Tighe & Friends edition comes in a large size too. Instead of a 3-inch blade, it has a 3.8-inch blade, and the handle, instead of 4 inches and a little, is 5.14 inches, giving the knife a total length of 9 inches on the large Tie Fighter. The action of the knife is great. If you're a guy that likes a fidget toy, this is just a barrel of monkeys. It has a free-falling blade, and the button lock, as I had mentioned, keeps your hands out of the blade path. This is one of the most fun knives you can have. So what are my opinions about the knife? I absolutely love it. Are there opportunities for improvement? The main opportunity for improvement I've mentioned, which is I really would like it to not have this pokey thing on the end. This is difficult because it's an essential part of the design, I think. Had they been able to make this straight, there are a lot of 4-inch handled knives that I can handle comfortably. But trust me, and that's why I do these knife reviews, is so that I can give you a head up. If you have large hands, you can grip it like this. However, there's that pokey thing there in the center that gets your third finger, and ergonomically it's still not going to work very well for you. So if you have small hands, you can get this knife, but if you have large hands, I would recommend you get the Tie Fighter Large. And we're fortunate they make both a small and large version of this. But what do I love about it? I absolutely love the button lock. It is a free fall blade, it's easy to deploy and easy to retract. It is a barrel of monkeys. And I like the lightness of the knife. In this pure fiber, carbon fiber configuration, this knife only weighs 2.5 ounces with a 3-inch blade, and that's a wonderful degree of lightness for all of the beauty that you get into this knife. So, if you think that a pure carbon fiber knife with a beautiful design and a button life is the knife for you, and you have small hands, get the Tie Fighter Small. If you have large hands, get the Tie Fighter Large. And thank you guys for watching the video. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next lightest and best video.